Hello everyone, I am Dead Knight, and this is In It to Win It. Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave respectful comments on my channel. We have the full United in Stormwind card set revealed, and today we're going to be talking about the Hunter class and the card pool from there. So I'm going to give you what I think is the best card, the worst card, and the most interesting card for Hunter. So I'm going to get right into it. Hunter is a class that is near and dear to me. I think I've hit Legend more times with Hunter than any other class in both Standard and Wild. So really love playing Hunter. And I'm really not loving the Hunter design that they're going for in this set. I think that this basically, this board flooding mechanic of rats is situational and a little risky, not consistent, and a little bit vulnerable, and I'm not a big fan. So not a lot of support for this deck unless that archetype somehow really takes off. Yeah, I don't see it doing that because it hasn't really worked very well in the past. But let's see what happens. So the best card, in my opinion, is going to be Aimed Shot. So Aim Shot is a 3 mana, deals 3 damage, and then the next time you use your hero power, doesn't matter what turn it is, your hero power is going to do 2 extra damage. So this is a super versatile card. The 3 damage can go to minions or players. And then your hero power is going to do 2 extra damage, and you don't have to do it right away. So this isn't a 5 mana deal lots of damage. This is a 3 mana deal damage, and then bank that extra damage for your hero power, which is really nice. So why is this card the best? There isn't a situation where you are sad that this card is in your hand, except turn 1 when you want to play other stuff maybe. But this is always going to be useful in some way, shape, or form, no matter what deck it's in. So think about decks that were playing Kill Command, even if they weren't going for hyper aggressive face damage, because being able to deal 5 damage for 3 mana and you can choose where that damage goes was really good. So this is kind of the same way. Much like Kill Command, the base damage was 3 and then there was 2 extra damage somewhere. But with this guy, you don't need that beast because that hero power is always going to do that 2 damage. So, we're talking about on par with Kill Command as far as damage to the face goes. It's more flexible than Kill Command because you can spread that damage out over multiple turns. And with the other archetype that's coming here, which is the new quest line, that spell damage and that hero power damage is synergizes extremely well if the quest ends up being a good card. So if you're playing some sort of spell hunter, you definitely want this card. If you're playing face hunter, you definitely want this card. Hard to imagine a situation where you don't want Aim Shot. Definitely the best card, I would say. The only other card that's in the running is the new 0 mana spell that lets you pile all your minions on and attack a minion, and then you get any of them back that die. That card is really good, but again, there's situations where you wouldn't want that card. So if you don't have a bunch of minions on the board, if your board just got cleared, this card does nothing. So I'm not gonna pick that card, even though it's obviously very good. Aim Shot is just all around best card, I think. As far as the worst card, so to be honest, I don't really like any of these swarm cards except the 0 mana spell. Like I said before, they're a little vulnerable. Either they all work or none of them work. But as far as which of those is going to be the worst, it's definitely going to be Leatherworking Kit for me. So this is a 0/2 or 0/3 weapon for 2 mana, so you can't even attack with this if you wanted to. And then what the 3 durability gets you is whenever 3 beasts die, you get to draw a beast from your deck and give it +1/+1. So this is not as good as a 2 mana draw 3 because you're going to be drawing those cards across probably multiple turns. You're talking about setting up these dream situations where you have this weapon equipped and then you do like the rats of unusual size or like some other swarm card, kill 3 or 4 of them, draw a beast, and then do some other thing where you kill a bunch of tiny minions of your own to draw another beast. And what beasts are you drawing here? Are you trying to draw trampling rhinos? Because if you are, you shouldn't be playing swarm anyway. Are you trying to draw just more small beasts that get slightly pumped? Well, if you are, then your opponent is probably either already lost, so this would be a win more, or they're just going to deal with it the same way they've done it before, which is generally the problem with this swarm mechanic. Either a deck can deal with lots of minions on the board that are tiny, or they can't. So it's a little too inconsistent. You don't get to pick which beast you draw. It takes multiple turns to set up. It doesn't attack by itself, so you've got an aggressive deck that you're spending 2 mana to do nothing. You draw the cards over multiple turns, so you're not getting any kind of big swing turn or tempo boost. And the buff for drawing the beast +1/+1, I just don't think is enough to really do it. So even if you are playing Swarm, it still might not make it in the deck. So this is, I'd say, the worst card for me. But as far as the most interesting, it's definitely the new quest line, Defend the Dwarven District. So what you really want is quest lines that are going to reward you for doing what you're going to be doing anyway. So if you're talking about some sort of a spell hunter deck, the condition for this is it upgrades every time you deal damage with 2 spells, which you're gonna be doing because you're trying to control the game with spells. So you're doing what you're already going to be doing, and then what this helps you do is catch up, because spells that are doing damage are not generating tempo. So, but what this does is, first it lets your hero power target minions, so that you can remove your opponent's tempo without costing you cards, and you can do that for the rest of the game. So that's great, and there's nothing they can do to remove that effect, unlike Dwarven Sharpshooter. So once you deal 2 damage with spells, for the rest of the game, your hero power gets to target minions. So that's really going to help you stay on top of the board. The next time that you deal 2 damage with spells, now your hero power costs 0. So now for free, you're either just grinding away at their face while you're controlling the board, or you are taking out their minions. And then the final slot in this is, get you a machine gun, where every time you play a spell, it refreshes your hero power. But guess what? Your hero power costs 0. So that is just bananas. If you have a full deck of spells and you get this guy off, you are now Shadow Reaper Anduin, but with Hunter, so you can deal damage with the spells and the free hero power. It's a really cool mechanic. I really like the ability to make this happen, and like I said, even if you don't complete the quest line, the intermittent rewards are still pretty good. So I think it's a really interesting card. Will it be better than some of these Trampling Rhino decks? I don't know. Maybe not in Standard, but there's definitely something to think about in Wild now. So that's really interesting. I really like the design, and it's got a cool feel, a cool way to complete the quest line. So I love it. What do you think of it? What do you think of this new Hunter Swarm mechanic that they're trying to push? Do you agree, disagree with what I'm saying? Leave some respectful comments below. Don't forget to subscribe and tune in next time.